We're often told, aren't we? Strive for perfection. Always put your absolute best foot forward.
It's ingrained.
Totally. Be flawless, impeccable, never show a crack. And, success is supposed to just follow. We spend so much energy on that perfect image.
Online, in presentations,
Yeah.
everywhere.
Exactly. But what if, just maybe, being a little less imperfect?
Yeah.
What if that's actually your superpower?
Huh. Interesting angle.
Yeah. What if showing a tiny imperfection could actually open doors that, well, absolute flawlessness keeps bolted shut? Okay, so let's unpack this. We're doing a deep dive today into an idea that, honestly, might just change how you think about yourself and how you interact with others.
Sounds fundamental.
It really is. We're exploring this fascinating concept from the Imperfection Principle. And it goes against so much of what we instinctively believe about making a good impression, building influence, just being liked. So our mission today: uncover the wisdom behind deliberately showing small, authentic imperfections and figure out why that's so important for building real connections and avoiding that unwanted friction.
And what's so fascinating, as you said, is how directly it challenges our gut feelings. We're just wired to see perfection as the goal, right? The peak. Yet the source we're looking at suggests that chasing perfection, or maybe more importantly, showing perfection, it can actually backfire. It can become a barrier.
It's so counterintuitive.
It really is. It asks us to rethink what strength and, well, likability even mean day to day.
That distinction you made, the display of perfection,
Yeah.
that feels key. So, okay, let's get to the core insight. From the Imperfection Principle, it says pretty bluntly, never appear too perfect. Show small flaws so others don't envy or resent you.
Wow, straight to the point.
Right. Just think about that for a second. It's not just, accept your flaws, which we hear a lot.
Yeah.
This is different. Yes. It's about showing them intentionally, strategically. In this world we live in, with all the curated feeds, perfect lives, perfect jobs.
Perfect everything.
Exactly. It's relentless, this pressure for flawlessness. So to actually choose to reveal a flaw, it feels kind of rebellious, doesn't it?
It really does, like you're swimming against the current.
Totally.
And, if we dig into the psychology behind it, it makes a lot of sense. It taps into really deep-seated human stuff.
Like what?
Well, envy and resentment, primarily. When someone seems utterly flawless, it doesn't just create distance. It can actively trigger negative feelings.
Huh. How so?
Think about meeting someone who just seems to have it all figured out, no struggles, no mistakes. Initially, you might admire them, sure.
Right, impressive.
But that admiration, it can curdle pretty quickly into feeling, well, inadequate yourself. You start comparing.
Ah, the comparison trap.
Exactly. And that comparison, that's where the envy, the resentment, sometimes even suspicion starts to breed. It's almost an automatic response to feeling like someone is just unattainably superior.
So it's less a conscious choice to dislike them, more a gut reaction.
I think so, yeah. It puts people on guard. Makes them feel inferior, like you said, but also maybe a bit suspicious. Is this person even real? What are they hiding?
Okay, the too good to be true feeling.
Precisely. And that discomfort gets in the way of genuine connection, because connection so often is built on shared vulnerability, right? Not on this impenetrable shield of perfection.
If someone seems perfect, there's no room for you to connect or even offer support because they look like they don't need any.
Exactly. It kind of bypasses the normal ways we build rapport.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Perfection is a barrier. But let's get back to that crucial part of the principle. It says, show small flaws.
Yes, the emphasis on small is critical.
Right. This isn't about, confessing huge mistakes or pretending you're incompetent. That would obviously backfire.
Totally counterproductive.
So what exactly counts as a small flaw? Where's the line between humanizing yourself and, well, undermining your credibility?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And that's where the strategy comes in. We're talking minor, non-critical things. Things that make you human, but don't detract from your actual competence.
Okay, like what kind of things?
Well, you could think of a few categories. First, maybe minor logistical blips.
Logistical blips.
Yeah, small stuff, like a typo in an internal email. Getting slightly lost, finding a new office, maybe telling a story about a tiny tech glitch during a presentation that you just had to laugh off.
Oh, okay. Like that time I showed up for a meeting a whole day early because my calendar was wrong. Mortifying then, kind of funny now.
Exactly. That's a perfect example. It's admitting, hey, I'm human, stuff happens.
Got it. What else?
Second category could be intellectual curiosity Or admitting you're still learning something outside your main expertise.
So not pretending to know everything.
Right. Not bluffing. Maybe in a meeting, someone brings up a related but slightly tangential topic, and you say, huh, that's interesting. I'm actually still getting my head around the specifics of that, but I can see how it connects. It shows humility, a growth mindset.
Yeah, I could see how that makes someone way more approachable than just nodding along pretending they know.
Yeah,
Okay, what about more personal stuff?
definitely. Third category, personal quirks, or like humorous admissions. Small, endearing things.
Okay.
Maybe admitting you're a terrible baker despite trying really hard. Or a funny, harmless habit. Like, okay, I confess I have to color code my to-do list, or my brain just freezes.
I know people like that.
Or, ugh, I completely mixed up 2 client names this morning, just totally blanked. Had to laugh and blame the lack of coffee. Things that get a chuckle, not a gasp. Relatable moments. They signal authenticity.
Okay, so we know what these flaws are. Minor blips, admitting you don't know everything, funny quirks.
Right.
But how do you show them strategically? It can't just be random, right?
No, absolutely not random. It's about calculated authenticity, if that makes sense.
Calculated authenticity.
Yeah.
Okay, tell me more.
Well, first, timing. Timing is everything. You generally want to establish your competence first.
Right. Prove you know what you're doing.
Exactly. If you walk into a job interview and the first thing you do is point out a typo on your resume, probably not the best move.
Yeah, bad luck.
But once you've shown you're capable, then a small, genuine slip-up can actually reinforce your humanity, make you seem more real.
Okay, so establish competence, then maybe reveal a small flaw. What else?
Consider your audience and the relationship you already have. Sharing a funny quirk with a teammate you know well. Totally different from sharing it with a brand new, very formal client.
Context matters.
Hugely. It works best when there's already some basic rapport. And choose low-stakes situations. A minor fluff in a casual team update is fine. A critical error in the big make-or-break pitch, not fine.
So the goal is connection, not undermining trust.
Precisely. It's a deliberate choice to be seen as human, not just a flawless performer.
Okay, so when someone does this right, this strategic vulnerability, what's the actual impact?
Oh, it can be profound. You're basically creating this shared human moment. You're signaling, hey, I mess up sometimes too, just like you.
That relatability factor again?
It's incredibly powerful. It can shift the dynamic entirely. It replaces that isolating feeling of, oh, I'm the only one who makes mistakes, with a more comforting, okay, we're all just figuring things out.
Turns potential rivals into allies, almost.
Or at least breaks down barriers. It makes leaders more approachable, colleagues more trustworthy. It just lays the groundwork for deeper relationships because you've shown it's safe to be imperfect. Others can lower their own guard a bit.
Okay, I really see the power there. But I have to ask, isn't there a really fine line? You mentioned competence. When does a small flaw bleed into something that genuinely hurts your reputation? Feels like a tightrope.
You're right, it absolutely is a tightrope, and awareness is key. The principle is crystal clear. Small, non-critical flaws. Yes, the line gets crossed when the flaw undermines your core competence or reliability in an area where it absolutely matters.
Do you give an example?
Sure. A surgeon admitting they always forget where they parked. Small, relatable flaw. Funny, even. A surgeon admitting they sometimes forget which instrument is which during surgery. That's catastrophic. Not a strategic flaw.
Okay, drastic difference.
Right. Or think about a pilot. They can laugh about getting lost driving to the airport. They cannot joke about forgetting pre-flight safety checks.
So it depends heavily on your role and what's expected.
Exactly. And watch for patterns, too. One typo. Human error. A constant stream of errors in everything you write. That just looks careless. This isn't a free pass for incompetence.
Got it. It's about a momentary lapse, a benign quirk, not a fundamental issue.
Precisely. A small chink in the armor that reveals the person inside without compromising the integrity of the armor itself.
That makes sense. What about culture? Does this idea land differently in different places?
Oh, absolutely. Cultural context is huge. In some cultures, maybe more hierarchical or collectivistic ones, there's a very strong emphasis on maintaining face, on appearing impeccable.
So showing a flaw might be seen very negatively.
It could be, yeah, perceived as weakness or even disrespect in some contexts, whereas in other cultures, maybe more individualistic ones, authenticity and a bit of self-deprecation might be valued more highly, making this principle easier to apply.
So you need cultural intelligence.
Definitely. The underlying psychology, envy, relatability, that's likely universal, but how it plays out, how it's expressed and received, that varies. You have to read the room, understand the environment.
Okay, let's make this really concrete for everyone listening. Can you maybe walk us through a quick scenario of someone using this effectively?
Sure, let's imagine, okay, a new team lead. Let's call her Maya. She joins a team, and maybe they're a little hesitant, a bit wary of new management.
Happens all the time.
Right. So Maya is clearly very competent, knows her stuff. She gives her first big presentation, laying out the project plan, delivers complex information really smoothly. She's impressive.
Okay, establishing competence.
Exactly. But then maybe as she clicks to the next slide, she fumbles the remote a bit, skips ahead like 3 slides by accident.
Oops.
Yeah, oops. But instead of getting flustered, she just laughs lightly and says something like, whoa, okay, clearly my fingers and this clicker need to get better acquainted. Sorry for the sneak preview. Then she just calmly clicks back and continues.
What's the effect of that little moment?
It completely changes the energy in the room. It disarms them. They see she's highly competent, yes, but that little fumble, it makes her human, relatable.
Not just this perfect, intimidating boss.
Exactly. She becomes competent Maya, who also sometimes fumbles with tech, just like us. Later, someone on the team might feel much more comfortable approaching her with a question or even admitting their own small mistake.
Because she signaled it's okay.
Precisely. She signaled that perfection isn't the only currency on her team. That little clicker mishap. It turns potential resentment or distance into connection. Makes her leadership feel much more accessible, more trustworthy, almost instantly.
That's a fantastic illustration. A tiny slip forging a real connection. So let's bring this back to you listening right now. What does this all mean for you? Think about it. Have you ever felt just a bit alienated by someone who seemed absolutely perfect? You know, the person with the flawless track record, the immaculate desk, the life that looked like it was staged for a magazine?
Mm-hmm. Admirable, but distant.
Exactly. You might admire them, but did you feel truly connected? Maybe there was a subtle barrier there. Now, flip that. Have you ever felt a stronger bond, maybe unexpectedly, with someone who admitted a small struggle, a funny mistake, a moment where they just said, oops, messed that up, or, I don't actually know the answer to that.
Those moments of shared humanity.
Right. Often, it's those little cracks in the perfect facade that make people real, approachable, likable, and ironically, maybe even more influential in the long run.
Because they invite connection.
They do. When someone shares a small flaw, they're kind of giving you permission to be human too. They're saying, hey, it's okay. None of us have it all together all the time.
And ultimately, that's what the source is getting at. True strength isn't only about perfect execution. It's also about the wisdom, the social intelligence to navigate how people perceive you.
Building genuine rapport.
Exactly. By being authentically, perfectly imperfect, showing a small flaw strategically isn't weakness. It's actually a sophisticated way of connecting. It acknowledges that sometimes the absence of any flaw can be more alienating than showing one.
It invites humility, relatability.
Yeah. It suggests our greatest strengths might actually include our capacity for being real.
So as you go about your day-to-day, here's something to think about. Where might your own pursuit of perfection, maybe unintentionally, be creating distance, pushing others away subtly?
Good question.
And conversely, where might revealing a small, authentic flaw actually open a door, invite a deeper connection, maybe disarm a little bit of that potential envy we talked about, or just make you seem more, well, human?
How could embracing that little imperfection lead to stronger bonds?
Exactly. How could it help create a more compassionate, more understanding world, not just for others, but for you too? Something to mull over.